So first we're starting off with a no guard. My magic clip closed all the way. And we're gonna start our guideline about midway from the temple area, just a little bit above the occipital bone. Now, remember whenever you're doing your first guideline, you don't need to have it perfectly symmetrical, just as long as you have it uniform across the head and even on both sides. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking my foil shaver and I'm shaving all the way up until about 1/4 inch underneath that first initial guideline. And it's always important to make sure you don't apply too much pressure with your foil shaver, as you can cause skin irritations and minor cuts that you will not be able to see until your client has left the shop. Just let the foil shaver do the work and you won't have any issues. Now that we have that, I'm taking my trimmers with light, gentle pressure. I'm beginning to take some of the weight line that I caused from my foil shaver and making sure I don't go too high to cut into my first initial guideline. Now I'm going to begin to set my second guideline. I'm going to start with using my number 2 attachment. I'm going about 1.5 inches away from my first initial guideline. The reason why I'm giving myself this much space is to be able to ensure that I have plenty of space to be able to blend this haircut as needed. Using my adjustable clippers, with my lever all the way open, I'm going to begin to blend this haircut out. As you can see, I'm constantly taunting the skin or pulling the skin away from where the areas that I'm cutting to be able to give myself a flatter and more smoother surface area. All while adjusting, closing, and opening my lever on the side to give myself different lengths of cut to be able to achieve the nice blend that I want to have. Now with my 1.5 attachment, I will begin to reverse fade. I'm going to work this weight line without going too high into my second initial guideline. Now I switch to my number 1 attachment. As you can see, for every guard I go down a size, I take smaller strokes on that same guideline. Now with my half guard, I'm going to do the same thing, just smaller strokes. As you can see, I'm going across the grain and with the grain to make sure I get every hair. I like to get one side of the head faded about 90% done, move to the next side, and do the same thing. Repeat the same steps. The reason I get to about 90% faded is to make sure that I don't get stuck in one area trying to blend it out if I can. I can always come back to it and do some more detail work at the end of the haircut. Now what I am doing is I'm doing a clip over comb technique. As you can see, I start off with the clipper lever open to ensure I don't cause even more of a weight line than I don't want. Now with my blending shear, all I'm doing now is taking light weight off the very edges around the crown area. Always be sure when you're using your blending shears, you don't want to cut too deep into the hair. Now I'm just gonna give them a nice clean but natural edge up. Again, keeping the lines natural, but still nice and clean. I recommend anybody who, if your client has a beard, if they don't want their beard touched, to still at least blend that top line in. There's nothing worse than having a nice, fresh, clean fade, but having a really hard line at the top of your beard. Unless your client likes that, then so be it. Now to finish this haircut off, I'm using a straight razor and a hot lather to give her a nice, clean, fresh feel for that client, and to get some of those hairs that that foil cutter didn't get. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Dust them off, a little bit of aftershave. Please hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Any type of feedback, leave it below. Thank you guys.